Yo, what's good with y'all? In today's video, I'm about to show you guys how to make a basic RPG. This video was requested to me, I think, like 2 weeks ago and stuff. So I'm gonna show you guys how to make a basic RPG. It's honestly very simple, very similar to my other gun tutorials and stuff. So let's get straight into it. First things first, of course, we're going to need a rig to test, the damage and stuff. So you can head on over to Avatar, click Rig Builder, and insert um a rig of your choice. Did not mean to do that. A rig of your choice, right? Then head on over to replicated storage. You're gonna need a gun remote event. So simply insert a remote event and name it gun event, right? That's all you gotta do in replicated storage. Now inside of server storage, you're going to have your bullet, right? This is, the part that's gonna come out of the RPG and then fire and stuff. This is, you could say this is my rocket or whatever and stuff, right? It's a regular part and stuff. It's just neon, and then I changed the color. The only things I would say is make sure it is not anchored and can collide is turned off. Yeah, that's really it and stuff. Just make sure can collide is turned off and then put it in server storage. That simple. Now, as for the actual RPG part, or not part, tool, right? So simply, it's a regular model and stuff. I just made parts. I just put parts together. All of these are regular parts. As I said, with the bullet, make sure none of the parts are anchored. Make sure none of the parts have can collide turned on, right? And then inside of it, you want to weld all the parts together, right? You want to weld everything together pretty much. Use a weld constraint. Part 0 should be the parent of the weld constraint, and then part 1 is the part that you're trying to weld it to. So as you can see, the back trigger is welded to the middle piece and stuff. So yeah, you just want to make sure all these parts are welded together. The handle should be invisible. This is where the player's hand is going to go, right? This is where the player's hand is going to go while as they hold the tool. So name this part handle and make sure it is invisible. And then you want to name the start. This is where the rocket is going to fire out of. You want to name that part start, because this is where the bullet is going to originate from. It's going to start here and then travel in the direction that the mouse is. Direction the mouse is in, right? And then of course front trigger, back trigger, and then so you want to have your RPG reload sound. Literally just go to toolbox for the sounds and stuff. I have 2 sounds I use. I have the RPG reload sound, and then in sound service I have the RPG fire sound and stuff. Simply go to the toolbox, type in RPG sounds and audio, and you guys will find a whole bunch of sounds. Choose whatever you want. And then you have your gun GUI. So once you have your RPG ready, you can go ahead and put it in starter pack. I'll walk you guys through the GUI real quick. So simply just insert a screen GUI into starter GUI and name it gun GUI, right? And then inside of gun GUI, you're going to want to insert a frame and name it gun frame. And inside of said frame, you can have a UI grid layout. Here are the properties for it. And then you're just going to have a text label. You're going to name this text label ammo amount text label. And pretty much you want it pretty much to where you don't want no text, but you want no text by default, because we're going to set the text via a script, and then that's what you got to do with that, right? And then of course you're going to put the UI inside of the RPG. Now as for the RPG, here are some properties that I just wanted to let y'all know about. So one, this is the positioning I went for and stuff. If your RPG is in like a weird position, like it's lower than you want it to be or it's higher than you want to be, play around with the grip position. That's what you want to play. If it's facing the wrong direction, then play around with the orientation and stuff. So this is the position orientation I went for, but it may be different for you guys depending on what model you're using, if you made it yourself, if you got it from a toolbox. So yeah. And then lastly, you're going to need 3 attributes. Your current ammo, or your starting ammo, your maximum amount of ammo, and how long it'll take to reload. So simply, these are all number values. So click add attributes and click number, and then just add 3 of them. Name 1 ammo, name 1 max ammo, and name the last one reload time. So this is in seconds, by the way, so it'll take 1.5 seconds to reload the RPG. Of course, you guys can change any of these values to whatever you want, right? And just like that, that's all the properties and everything. So I can get into the actual scripting now. So I'm going to insert a local script into RPG, and we can name this RPG script local in parentheses, right? You're going to want to put the reload sound inside of the local script, because I want this to play locally. I don't want the entire server to hear the player reloading the RPG. So we're going to delete print hello world and make about 6 variables. First, we're going to get the tool. So local tool is equal to script.parent. Then we're going to get the player. So local player is equal to game.players.local player. Then I'm going to get the gun remote event. So local gun event is equal to game.replicated storage wait for child gun event. Then I'm going to get the user input service. So local UIS is equal to game get service user input service. And lastly, I'm going to make a variable for reloading. So local reloading, it'll be a Boolean value, which pretty much is true or false. By default, I'm going to set it to false. I'm going to set the value, I'm going to set the variable's value equal to true when I begin the reloading process. So we're going to need to make a couple functions. First is for the equipped function. So script.parent, oh, sorry, not script. I'm going to say, we can really say tool.equipped. So we can say tool equipped connect function, close parentheses, enter. And then you're going to want to say script.parent.gun.gui. Then you can say dot parent is equal to player.player.gui because we want to parent the GUI to the player's GUI so that they can see it. Then I'm going to update the current amount of ammo text so the player knows how much ammo they have. So I'm going to say player.player.gui dot gun G I'm tripping. Gun GUI dot gun frame dot ammo mount text label. Make sure you type this correctly because this will not autofill. That text is equal to string. And I'm going to say tool get attribute ammo, so pretty much current amount of ammo. And I'm gonna put a sorry, not a comma. I'm gonna put a dot on the outside. So dot quotation marks. I'm gonna put a slash to separate the two. Then another dot, and I'm gonna say to string. And I'm gonna say tool get attribute, and then I'm gonna get the maximum amount of ammo. Right. Moving on to the unequipped function. So I'm gonna say tool.unequipped connect function close parentheses. All I'm gonna do this time is reparent the GUI. So I'm gonna say player.player.gui.gun.gui.parent is equal to tool, right? And then after that, I'm going to set up the activated function. So I'm going to say tool.activated connect function, and then put close parentheses, enter, and then I'm going to use an if statement. This is how you shoot or fire the RPG. So we're going to need to make sure that we have enough ammo to be able to shoot it. So I'm going to say if tool get attribute ammo, and then I'm going to say is greater than equal to 1, right? And reloading is set to false because we don't want to try to fire the RPG in the middle of reloading. So if all that is in order and stuff, I'm going to get the start position and end position. So local start position is simply just tool.start.position, because remember that's the start part. Then I'm going to get the end position. So local end position, here's where the player variable comes into play. So player get mouse dot hit dot position, right? Then I'm going to fire the remote event. I'm going to say gun event fire server in quotation marks. I'm going to put shoot. I'm going to send over the tool, the start position, as well as the end position, right? Then moving on to the next function, I'm going to set up the reload function. I'm going to say uis.input began connect function in parentheses. I'm going to put input comma processed enter, and I'm going to say if input user input type is equal to enum.user input type keyboard and processed is equal to false, which means the player they're not typing in chat, right? If process equals false, then I'm going to use another if statement. I'm going to say if input.keycode is equal to enum.keycode.r. You can change this to whatever you want your reload key to be. For me, it's going to be R. And player.character find first child tool.name, because we want to, of course, make sure the player isn't trying to reload their weapon when they don't even have it equipped. Tool.name, right? Enter. I'm going to set the reloading variable value equal to true, so true. Then I'm going to fire the remote event. So gun event fire server reload, and I'm going to send over the tool. Then I'm going to set the text. I'm going to say player.player.gui.gun.frame.ammo amount text label.text is equal to quotation marks reloading ... right? So that we can pretty much tell the player that they're reloading. Then I'm going to say script.rpg reload, which is the sound play. I'm going to play the reload sound effect only on the client side, of course. Then I'm going to do a wait. I'm going to say wait tool. Oh, sorry. Wait tool get attribute reload time. So I'm gonna halt everything else in the script until the reload time has finished, and then I'm going to set reloading back to false because this means that that the player has finished reloading the RPG. Then I have one more function, and then it's onto the server script. So then I'm gonna say gun event dot on client event connect function. In parentheses, I'm gonna put event type, then enter. Simply, we just have an if and else if statement. So we're going to say if event type is equal to shoot. We're going to do a simple update just so we can update, the current stuff. The great thing is we can do my favorite thing in the world when it comes to saving time. Copy and paste. We can go up here, Control C, Control V, saves us a whole bunch of time. Then do else if event type is equal to reload, enter. You're going to do the same thing, paste this here. The only difference is you're going to do wait. And then, actually, you can really just copy and paste this too. You're just putting this wait. The only difference with the reload, you just want to wait so that it updates it after the reload, right? And just like that, we have finished all the client-side scripting. It really didn't take that long. So let's move on to the server-side scripting, which again isn't that much either. Which is why honestly I love gun systems. Very simple in my opinion. So then I'm gonna say RPG. I'm gonna name the script RPG script server. Make sure it was a server script inside of server script service. We're going to delete print hello world. I'm going to make 4 variables. I'm going to first make a gun remote event variable. So gun event is equal to game.replicated storage, wait for child, gun event. Then I'm going to get the bullet from server storage. So local bullet is equal to game.server storage, wait for child, bullet. Then I'm going to get the tween server so we can animate the bullet. So ts is equal to game, get service, tween service, and lastly I'm going to get the sound service. Local ss is equal to game get service sound service, right? Then I'm going to create the function for the gun event. So I'm going to say gun event dot on server event connect function. In parentheses I'm going to put plr, which is short for the player, then event type followed by tool start pos and start pos and pos, right? And then first thing, I'm going to set up an if statement to check which event it is. So if event type is equal to shoot, if we're trying to shoot the RPG, I'm going to remove one of the ammo from the current count. So tool, so let's do tool set attribute ammo, and then in here I'm going to put, or wait, actually I'm trying to remember honestly. Yeah. I think it's comma. Yeah. So I'm gonna put comma, and I'm gonna say tool get attribute this time. Get attribute ammo, then just do -1. That we can take away one of the current ammo. And then I'm gonna fire the remote event back to the servers, back to the client so that I can update. So PLR, and then I'm going to say in quotation marks reload. Right? Then moving on, I'm going to set up a couple of variables. First, I'm going to get the player's character. So local character is equal to player.character. Then the direction is equal to parentheses npos minus start pos. Let me put a space here. And then this is going to be .unit times 100. You guys can play around with this number if you want. .unit times 100. You guys can play around with the 200 if you want. Then I'm going to set up the raycast params. So raycast params is equal to raycast params.new. Then we're going to set a couple properties. So raycast params.filter type is equal to enum. Sorry, it's equal to enum dot raycast filter type dot exclude. Then I'm going to set up the table. So filter descendants instances, and this is going to be a table, so it's equal to special brackets. You're going to simply just do tool get descendants parentheses close parentheses. Then you're going to want to do character get descendants, and then boom. That's all you got to do for the raycast params. Then I'm going to trigger the actual raycast. So local raycast is equal to workspace raycast. In origin, you're going to put start POS, then you're going to put the direction variable and the raycast params variable, right? Then you're going to say if raycast, then I'm going to create a clone of the bullet. So local bullet clone is equal to bullet clone. I'm going to set the bullet clone's parent. So bullet clone.parent is equal to game.workspace. Then I'm going to set its position. So position, of course, will be start POS, and then set it C frame. So bullet clone dot C frame is equal to C frame dot new start POS, comma start POS. Then let's say plus tool dot middle dot C frame dot look vector, right? And then I'm going to set up the duration for how long the bullet should travel. So local duration is equal to parentheses, very similar to what we did up there. I'm going to say, wait, actually, no, I'm tripping. NPOS first. NPOS minus start POS, but this time I'm going to say dot magnitude, right? And then I'm going to divide it. So I recommend going 100. I did 1,000 before, but then I realized it was like way too fast. So lowering the number honestly makes it look better in my opinion. Then I'm going to set up the bullet tween, but you guys can choose whatever you want. So local bullet tween is equal to TS create bullet clone for the instance, then tween info dot new. You're going to put duration for time. Then for easing style, of course, you can either go with quad or cubic. I recommend going with cubic, but you guys can choose whatever you want. Then I'm going to say enum dot easing direction is of course out because the bullet's being fired outward. And then for the property table, you're going to put special brackets and you're going to say position is equal to NPOS, right? Then of course we're going to play the bullet tween. So bullet tween play. Then I'm also going to play the fire sound. So SS dot or whatever is named RPG fire sound play, right? Then I'm going to set up an if statement, pretty much just to make sure we deal damage. So if raycast dot instance dot parent find first child humanoid, then of course I'm going to say raycast dot instance dot parent dot humanoid, dot humanoid dot health is less than equal to 10. Of course you guys can change this, of course, because after all it's an RPG, so it should do a lot of damage. So you guys can really change this to whatever you want. I'm just gonna go with 10 though. And then after the if statement, you're going to want to use a wait, just very similar to what we did on the local script, but this time I'm going to do duration minus 0.2 seconds, right? Just I want this to play like right before the tween has ended, right? So I'm going to create the explosion. So local explosion is equal to instance new explosion. I'm going to parent it to the workspace. Then I'm going to set its position. So explosion dot position is equal to bullet clone dot position. Then I'm going to set the time scale. So explosion dot time scale. I honestly don't know if the default value is 1. If the default value is 1, then this wouldn't matter. But if it isn't, then yeah, I'll just go 1. But you guys can choose whatever you want for time scale. Pretty much the lower it's a value from 0 to 1. The lower the value, the longer the explosion takes. The higher the value, the faster the explosion is. And lastly, I'm going to destroy the bullet clone, right? And then I'd have just like 2 more lines or 3 more lines. So I'm going to click this little arrow right here, press enter, and I'm going to say else if event type is equal to reload. And then I'm going to say tool set attribute quotation marks. I'm going to put ammo, right? Put ammo. And then I'm going to say tool get attribute in parentheses and quotation marks. I'm going to put max ammo so I can reload, right? Then I'm going to go here. I'm going to fire their mode event. So gun event fire client. So I can trigger the reload event on the client side. So player and reload in quotation marks. And just like that, we have set up the RPG system. I can go ahead and test this real quick, make sure it works. If it does, then we're good to go. If you guys want access to these scripts or models or any of my other scripts or models, you guys can become a channel member by pressing the join button next to the subscribe button, or you guys can become a Discord subscriber by joining my Discord server and then just clicking one of the server subscriptions and stuff. But yeah. So if I take out the RPG, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like in my hand. You guys see the 1 of 1. Then if I left click, and then shoot it off into the distance. Okay, I knew I spelled that wrong. My fault, guys. I spelled magnitude wrong. I knew it. I knew I was tripping. I had a feeling. And I spelled it wrong again. Magnitude. I don't know. I had a feeling while I was typing. I was just like, why do I feel like I spelled this wrong? But then I'm talking and thinking at the same time. So it's like, but anyway. So then if I fire it, there we go. So yeah, as you go, and I spelled something else wrong. Ammo amount. Oh, I see. Let's see what I did wrong. Ammo amount. Okay, so make sure you guys spell everything right. So just pay very close attention. But as you guys can see, the RPG clearly works and stuff. You just have to do, you know, quick. There we go. Nice. Like I said, if that's too slow for you, like this is over like a long distance. If that is too slow for you, simply just increase this value and stuff. If it's say set to 500, it'll go five times quicker. If it's set to 10, it'll go 10 times slower and stuff. Then if I reload, you guys just hear the little reload sound playing in the background. Then boom, I can fire again. That's how you make a basic RPG and stuff like that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love and support you guys been showing all my videos. Like I said, if you want access to the script or model, any of my other scripts and models, you guys can become a channel member or a Discord subscriber. Stuff, just leave comments down below and stuff if you're interested in that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.